Folks, Street Fighter 6 has been out for over a week at this point, so I thought it would be fun to do a little week 1 tier list, okay? Don't take this too seriously. This is just for fun. I swear, if I see anyone going, oh, I was gonna play this character, but turns out they're low tier, so I'm not gonna play them. No, you're cringe if you do that. A, the game is still new. We don't know that much about the characters. Plus, I'm stupid, so this is probably going to be wrong. B, everyone in this game has access to Drive Rush and Drive Impact, so everyone has some pretty broken tools that you can win with. And then C, there's going to be balance changes and stuff, so it only takes 1 or 2 big buffs for a low tier to become top tier, or vice versa. So don't take this too seriously, guys. This is just for fun, and then in the future, we can look back and, you know, laugh and joke about how wrong we were when the game was new. But let's start out here in S tier. I'm gonna go ahead and say my pick right now for best character in the game is gonna be Juri. So Juri, I would say that her normals are really strong. So crouching medium kick is a pretty amazing poke that you can combo off of, you can drive rush off of. I feel like characters that have like a really long reaching low drive rush starter tend to be really strong. Plus standing medium punch plus on block plus frames are kind of hard to come by in this game, so characters who have this ability to just throw out a normal and instantly get a throw mix up off it are pretty strong. She also has Feng Shui Engine, which I would consider to be a pretty strong super. You know, this enables some cool combos, and usually you can get one combo and then go for a mix up and then get another combo before the timer runs out, so she has some good damage potential from that. Also, I feel like level 2 installs in this game are pretty powerful because you can basically just like throw out an EX move and then keep it safe by canceling into level 2, and you'll actually have plus frames, similar to how people used V-Trigger back in SF5. So yeah, she's just a very solid character who I feel like utilizes the game mechanics really well. Good normals, good combos, good damage, all that stuff. And she's just too solid. Next up, also in top tier, I'm gonna put Dee Jay. Speaking of amazing normals, Dee Jay has like probably the best normals in the game. This move is wild. It's plus on block and it reaches like half screen. Standing medium punch, also plus on block. So he's really good at setting up tick throws and stuff like that. His fireballs are really good, plus the fact that he can fake the fireball, and he has a meterless double fireball, so he's good at winning fireball wars. Plus his EX fireball is plus on block, and it will actually beat a lot of reversals, because most reversals in the game, even if they're strike invincible, they're not projectile invincible. So that's a pretty powerful tool that he has access to. I would say his only real issue is that he doesn't have like good drive cancelable normals. You can see a lot of his like long reaching moves are not special cancelable, so you can't drive rush off them. But other than that, I mean, like his control of neutral is really amazing. He's got good mix as well, so he just seems too solid to me. The next character I want to put in S tier is gonna be Luke. So Luke has a lot of the stuff that I've mentioned being good, you know, long range, low, that can be drive rush canceled. Drive rush is just so strong that if you have a character that can really abuse it, I think that's pretty good. He's got really good normals as well. Like you can see the reach on his stand medium punch is really good, so he's really good at sort of shimmying with stuff like that. Crouching medium punch is plus on block, so he has easy access to plus frames as well, like I mentioned with some other characters. And also his fireball is just like ridiculous. I think he probably has the best fireball in the game. It's so fast, really hard to deal with, and of course if you jump it, he's got the DP on lock. Also, I feel like his charged attacks are really strong. Yes, they are vulnerable to drive impact, but the fact that he can generate plus frames with these, he can use them to set up powerful combos without spending too much meter as well. So I feel like his specials are good, his normals are good. He's like the archetypical really strong Shoto character in this game. Speaking of Shotos, I'm also gonna put Ken in S tier. So I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Ken has a lot of the stuff that I've called out as being good, like a really nice long range low that can be drive rush canceled. He's able to generate plus frames whenever he wants by using his dragon tail kick. Is that what this is called? His combos are really good as well, and even like his like running flame tatsu, which is a move that I didn't actually think did very much, turns out is actually really broken for setting up certain combos where you hit them on the back. So very high damage character, very good footsies. His walk speed is really crazy, and his dash can be pretty deceptive as well, combined with his ability to keep the opponent guessing and disincentivize them from blocking by generating plus frames. Ken just seems really good to me. All right, one more character that I'm gonna put in top tier is gonna be Guile. So a lot of Guile's strength, as you might expect, comes from Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom is really, really crazy in this game. You would think that a game with perfect parry and drive impact fireballs would be a little bit scary to use, but the recovery is just way too fast on this, so he's really abusive and neutral combined, especially with Sonic Blade. Can keep him really tricky and hard to deal with in neutral. His normals are also really amazing. Crouching medium kick, the fact that he gets a combo off this on punish counter now is really good. Plus he's got like new target combos, so he has new ways to confirm into stuff without having to rely on like really specific links or anything. All his other usual really good normals as well, like back fierce, back roundhouse is really good as well. And similar to Juri, he has a level 2 install super that's really strong. This enables some really broken combos as well. So I just see Guile as being super hard to get in on, really dominates neutral, and also has really high combo potential with his level 2 and his target combos and stuff. So yeah, Guile, we knew he was really good in the beta, and that seems to still be the case in the final game. All right, I'm gonna change the names of these tiers a little bit, forgive me. The thing is, I don't think there's any D tiers in the game. Like I said, everyone has drive rush, everyone has drive impact, so everyone has some pretty broken stuff, so I think C is going to be the lowest I'll go, but let's continue to A+. I'm going to put Honda in here, man. So Honda, obviously we all know that Headbutt is pretty degenerate in this game. You know, it's completely safe. No one can punish this on block. It's really damaging, and also on block it takes away like so much of their drive gauge, so like they're really not wanting to block this. They have to go for perfect parry, and it turns out, you know, perfect parry, if you do a meterless combo afterwards, you're gonna do like less damage than the headbutt would do on hit. So like the risk reward is pretty scary out there for trying to punish this move. Butt splash is obviously really good as well, being plus on block, and his ability to steer it, so it's really hard to hit him out of this because your move might end up going the wrong way. Yes, it is vulnerable to perfect parry, just like headbutt, but like I mentioned, perfect parry combos do like no damage, so the incentive is not that bad for Honda to just go for this. You'll see a lot of Honda players, even at like diamond rank, they're just like spamming these special moves so much because they're so good. But that's not all he has. He also has his traditional overhead down forward plus heavy kick is actually buffed in this game because now it doesn't knock down. You can combo off it like this. And he still has the ability to Kara cancel this move, so you can do some really tricky mix with drive rush and Kara canceling into his command grab. So yeah, super high damage character. Yes, I do think he is being somewhat buffed by the game being new and people not being very good at dealing with scrubby tactics, but to me, like, his special moves are just so pushed. They clearly wanted him to be like a problem that you have to deal with. And they did a good job at that. So yeah, I think Honda is really good. Next up at A+, I'm gonna put JP. So there are some matchups that I feel like JP just dominates. Like any character that has a hard time getting in, like Zangief, Lily, Honda, that kind of thing, they can have a really hard time against JP's really oppressive zoning. Plus, he has a command grab, and I know that everyone says, like, oh, just jump it on reaction. You can tell it's a different animation from his fireballs. But the thing is, like, the closer he gets, the harder this is to jump. So if you watch top JP players, they're actually, like, applying really scary mix-up up close as well because his command grab is legitimately really hard to react to. This move is also really ridiculous as well. The fact that the spike, like, homes in on the opponent and will like find them wherever they are. You can see it always points in the direction the opponent is, so this move is really scary to just have lurking there, plus obviously the threat that he's going to teleport to it and do some mix. So yeah, his special moves are just insanely good. Yes, he does have the obvious downside that once you get in on him, you know, his normals are pretty slow and clunky, so it can be hard for him to get people off him, but he has this counter that not only does it beat, you know, any strike, high or low, it also beats throws. Like what is that about? And then, you know, once those two orbs are on the screen, he can even like mix the opponent up, you know, he can like throw in between the two orbs getting blocked. So yeah, his counter feels pretty degenerate right now. There might be some counterplay to it that we don't know about yet, but so yeah, JP seems really good to me. His normals are a little bit jank, but like the power of his zoning and mix up just seems too good right now. Next up in A+, I'm gonna throw Kimberly. So Kimberly's normals are cracked. Like her half screen standing medium kick that can be drive rushed is really ridiculous, and her crouching medium kick being plus on block, and if you do drive rush crouching medium kick, the world is your oyster on hit or on block, so that's really nice. Also, her ability to throw a can and then combo off her throw seems really good. Like the can throw in general seems really, really good to me. You only start with 2 of them, but at least you can refill it, unlike Blanka, who has to use his taunt that takes forever. So yeah, and then of course she has a bunch of neutral skip stuff. So she has the full screen slide that is like nigh unreactable. She has her teleport where she can go overhead, so she's really scary to block in general. Kimberly, I think most people are pretty afraid of this character, and I think for good reason. Good normals, good mix. Really, really crazy character, absolutely ridiculous stuff. Speaking of good mix, I think I'm gonna throw Manon up here in A+. So I will say Manon is a very high risk character. You know, a lot of her strong moves, like this low, is insanely unsafe, so people do throw this out and catch people, but like if the opponent just reacts once, you're gonna eat like a full punish counter and die. But some of her moves are really crazy. Like her far standing heavy kick is a really good move. Yes, it's vulnerable to drive impact, but like if they're just throwing out drive impact, you know, you're gonna hit them with your own drive impact and then you're gonna get like a stock off it. So yeah, the fact that if she builds up 5 stocks, her command throw just starts being completely broken, makes her really hard to fight, because if you lose round 1, it's like, well, I'm just gonna lose the whole match now, because now I have to win 2 rounds against a 5-stock Manon, which is really, really hard to do. And some of her normals are really good as well, like stand medium kick is really good, and crouch strong, crouch jab, really good normals. By the way, her overhead is really good as well. You can space this out really far to make it safe. Plus she has this anti-air that she can combo off of, get a stock off that. I would say her big issue is no invincibility. Her only invincible move is level 1, so if she doesn't have super meter, she has no access to invincibility. She also doesn't have an invincible anti-air move, so moves like Blanka Ball can be a little bit hard for her to deal with. This move is not upper body invincible or anything like that, so you will lose to jump-ins if you don't do this like super early. So yeah, she does have some flaws, but I just feel like her command grab is utterly ridiculous. I think she's for sure the best grappler in the game, and really, really hard to deal with once she gets going. All right, we're moving down to the A tier here. I'm gonna put Chun Li. So Chun Li, she has some things that are really, really amazing. So like, I think her fireball is like really crazy good in this game and hard to deal with. Obviously you're vulnerable to like perfect parry drive rush, but because her fireball is slow, it's actually really hard to perfect parry it. Plus, you know, obviously her normals are good. Her normals are like always good. That's like her thing. But I think she's kind of held back by drive impact a bit, because a lot of the big moves you want to throw out, you know, like stand fierce and stuff, this is not special cancelable, so you cannot cancel this into drive impact to stay safe against drive impact. So yeah, I feel like the systems maybe make her a little bit dangerous to play, but obviously she's got classic Chun, like crazy walk speed, crazy good pokes and stuff like that. I'm just not sure it's enough. Also, a lot of her other options like Hazanchu, really vulnerable to drive impact and stuff. So yeah, drive impact is like her worst enemy, but you know, again, her stance is good, her pokes are good. It's just like there's now a major level of counterplay to her that didn't exist before. Kind of similar to SF4, you know, she was vulnerable to focus attack. Same way she's vulnerable to drive impact in this, but she's obviously still good. I just don't think she's as good as like Ken or Luke, who have like a similar poking and fireball game play style, but are a little bit safer in my opinion. I'm also gonna put Cammy here in A tier. A game where Cammy isn't top tier, I know, is shocking. You know, she does have some really good stuff. Like I think that Spin Knuckle is a really, really good move. It's plus on block, and like, yeah, it just creates problems for the opponent, and you can cross them up with heavy and go for some mix. And that move is generally safe against drive impact unless their reactions are like crazy. So yeah, Spin Knuckle is good, but like, I don't know. I just don't really feel like she has enough to make up for the fact that Stuff like this, she can be jabbed out of, so like some of her pressure feels kind of fake. Her dive kick also is like super easy to hit her out of the air on the hitbox on this is not very good. And if she hits you high on the body, it's not really her turn anymore. And yeah, a lot of people have pointed out that Cammy is one of the lower damage characters in the game. So I can feel like she's not that rewarding for getting like a big drive impact the way some other characters are. So yeah. I don't know. She seems fine, but I'm not really convinced that she is her usual top tier self like we've seen in so many other recent Street Fighter games. All right, also in A tier, I'm going to put Blanka. So Blanka, kind of the opposite. You know, usually Blanka's weak, but in this one, he's pretty solid. So heavy Blanka ball. Really hard to deal with, similar to Honda Headbutt. You know, it's completely safe on block except against like 2 supers in the entire game. And he can mix it up with the short Blanka ball, which makes it really hard to interrupt. You know, like if you're planning on like dragon punching him out of heavy Blanka ball, he'll just do short one, block the dragon punch and get a massive punish. And you know, if your plan is to like perfect parry Blanka ball, again, you get like the same amount of damage for a full perfect parry combo as he gets for just landing one counter hit Blanka ball, especially since he can combo off it on counter hit by doing drive rush slides. So yeah, Blanka ball is really good. Let's just get that out of the way. He's also got EX lightning, which is +2. You know, obviously it costs meter, but having easy access to plus frames is really good, especially for someone who has all these shenanigans. Like, he's gonna make you really scared to press buttons, and then he's gonna like use you know, hop, or like he can even do like drive rush hop to go like full screen. And anytime you're like being patient and just blocking against Blanka, he's really happy because he has so many ways to mess with you, like crossing up with rainbow roll or crossing up with the hop. So yeah, the fact that he can generate plus frames is pretty abusive when combined with his mix-up options. And then similar to Juri, he does have this level 2 install super, so he can pretty much make anything safe by canceling into this. And it turns out he can do like some really unhinged combos with this thing, and like he can use airball and stuff so you can't anti-air him. So yeah, he's got a lot of cheap stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think a lot of his normals aren't that good. He doesn't really have like an amazing drive rushable normal. Crouching medium punch is like the closest thing, but it's not a low, you know, compared to someone like Ken or Luke, who have a really amazing crouching medium kick. His is not that good. Sweep and crouch heavy punch are unsafe. So yeah, he has some problems, but he has some real advantages as well. I think he's definitely solid, but he's not cheap like Honda. All right, also in A tier, I'm gonna put Marisa. So Marisa has a couple really abusable moves. So, you know, like Superman Punch, the Bandit Bringer. This move can be really hard to deal with because it's plus, and you know, if they're like, well, I'll just drive impact it. A lot of times they drive impact it and then you recover in time to drive impact them back, or you can use the EX version, which breaks armor. So that move is definitely good. She does have some problems though, like her anti-air is a little bit iffy. I've heard a lot of people complaining about her down heavy punch anti-air is like very inconsistent, and she can also try to anti-air with quarter circle back light punch, but oftentimes you end up going under them and whiffing, and then you just kind of die. She is also very high commitment on her mix-up options. So like, you know, the low follow-up to her stance is like -30 on block or something insane. And the overhead is safe, but it's still -3, so you lose your turn. And yeah, she has command throw, but yeah, again, like all these options, she's kind of putting herself at risk. So she feels like a pretty risky character. Also, a lot of her normals are very slow, so oftentimes, you know, in scrambles and stuff, she can get counter hit. But at the end of the day, she does have some really good specials. You know, this move is really good, really abusable. The fact that you can charge it to have armor makes it hard to contest. And again, Superman Punch is just ridiculous. So she has a couple really good things going for her, but I don't see her as being a very consistent character because of the high risk nature of a lot of her options. All right, one more in A tier here. I'm gonna put Ryu, okay? It's Ryu. So you might be wondering, you know, why is Ken so good, but Ryu is kind of middle of the pack? Well, for one thing, Ryu can't really create plus frames very easily at all. So like, unlike Luke, none of these moves, none of them are plus on block. His only plus move is forward fierce, is +1, and you can see this is not special cancelable. Was this special cancelable in one of the betas or something? I vaguely recall this move being cancelable, but now it's not, which means that he's very vulnerable to drive impact on this move, so it's pretty scary to use. Plus, it's obviously slow, but yeah, so he can't really generate plus frames to the degree of some of the really good characters. So I don't feel like his rushdown is as good. He kind of seems like he's intended to be more of a defensive character. You know, he has the Denjin install, which makes his fireball legitimately really ridiculous. Denjin fireball is actually like cracked. But the thing is, you know, there's parry in this game. There's drive impact in this game. There's a lot of ways to make throwing fireballs really scary, so I'm just not sure if this entire playstyle is that powerful. I feel like this is a very rushdown oriented game because of the power of drive rush. And yeah, some of his drive rushes are like really good, you know, and he does have this long range crouching medium kick. He sticks his leg way out so that he can drive rush cancel it. So he has some nice things there, but I think if you compare him to the other Shotos, Luke and Ken, they're just a lot better up close, and he's just not quite got the juice the same way they do, but he's still solid. All right, we're moving down to B tier here. First, I mean, I feel weird putting Dhalsim here. I fought literally one Dhalsim online. Nobody plays this character, so I'm not that confident. I think it's clear that Dhalsim has some powerful stuff, right? Like his standing medium kick and standing medium punch are both really amazing normals. His upwards fireball is also really good because, you know, you can do stuff like use it to make a lot of your pokes plus and stuff. His teleport is also really good as usual. You know, there's a big threat of like throwing out a fireball and then teleporting. So yeah, he's got some of his classic stuff that makes him really good, but he's got some major problems as well. I feel like drill is really bad in this game. Am I the only one that feels this? Like, drill is so slow and so punishable. Also, you know, just kind of inherently, he's a little bit weak to random guess parries. They might just get like a guess perfect parry and be able to punish one of your limbs. Same with drive impact. Yeah, a lot of times like moves like this are going to be safe against drive impact, but if you're going for something a little bit cheeky like stand roundhouse, stand fierce, drive impact can just ruin your day. I think he's got a lot of growth potential, no pun intended. I think there's definitely a lot of room for the character to grow. He seems to have a lot of high level tech that is not super explored, but it also just seems like he gets completely run over by characters like Honda, Marisa, characters who will just get in once and just destroy him with plus frames and stuff. Seems really, really hard, but I would like to see someone win a major with Dhalsim. That would be really hype, but so far at least, he seems a little bit too difficult for the reward that you get from him. All right, also in B, I'm gonna put Jamie. So it feels like a lot of people have smack talked Jamie, so I kind of feel bad joining in on that, but I think he has some issues. He has some good points as well. His crouching medium kick is like a really good move, and again, you know, any long range low that can be drive rush canceled is inherently like pretty good. But one of his big problems is, you know, he does less damage than everyone else if he's at no drinks. He kind of has to like put in a lot of work to getting these drinks off. And, you know, you work really hard to get the 4 drinks. And let's say, you know, you get fully powered up. You're like really broken. He actually is legitimately really strong when he's at 4 drinks. But then it just resets at the end of the round. You know, it's like he has to work really hard to set this up. And then you have to do it again like every single round. So to me, it seems a little bit tough. He's another character that, you know, he's got some inherent risk. You have to make some kind of hard reads with stuff like his Rekkas and, you know, a lot of his good pokes. Like sweep is like so unsafe. So you end up going for sweep a lot because it's like by far his longest range poke. But yeah, you can just get drive impacted or whatever. A lot of things can go wrong for Jamie. And if you just lose the round, it was all for naught. You lose all your drinks. It's such a bummer. I also think a lot of people are disappointed by his dive kick. I think people expected like a Yun Yang level dive kick, considering you need at least 1 drink to even access the move, but it doesn't seem that good to me. Like the frame advantage on this is rarely that good, and the hitbox is not that good either, so he can be anti-aired easily. So yeah, I don't know, Jamie, it seems like a bit of a letdown, but I would not be surprised if they give him 1 or 2 really valuable buffs and all of a sudden he's like top tier. I feel like the potential is there. He's just a little bit too weak at low drinks. You have to work so hard to get all the drinks to make him good, and then it just resets between rounds. Seems like a bit of a bummer to me. All right, in the final B tier here, I'm projecting a little bit of foreshadowing here, but I'm gonna put Lily down here. So yeah, you guys can call me a down player if you want. You know, everyone says that their own character is bad and all the other characters are good. I am a Lily main. But I feel like, you know, she has some good stuff going for her. Her crouching fierce is like actually a pretty busted move. You can hit confirm this, you know, like you have 2 hits to see if it hits or gets blocked, and you can cancel it into Windstock, which is safe against DI, which is pretty strong. Plus, you can hit confirm this into level 3 from anywhere on screen, which is pretty powerful. Her 360, you know, it seems really good, because it reaches like half screen. Like this has complete like jump scare range. It's insane, but it sends you full screen. So yeah, you can stock up. You can stock up for sure, but I feel like, you know, Windstock, Condor Spire, you know, everyone thinks that this is just some like instant neutral skip win move, but it doesn't actually work that well against players who know what's up, because they can just drive impact this on reaction and get a full combo on you whenever you go for like this long range Condor Spire in neutral. So yeah, you kind of have to like, you land the command throw, you get the stock, and then you kind of have to win neutral again, you know, to get the opportunity to like force them to block this so you're plus. So yeah, sounds like I'm whining a lot. Don't get me wrong, she does have a lot of good things going for her, but she does have some major flaws. One other flaw I complain about a lot, her EX Dragon Punch is not actually invincible. It's only invincible to air attacks, so only her supers are invincible, and then this super has like 11 frame startup or something, so it's so slow. So if you guys don't know, they can knock you down and they can jab you on wake up or do like whatever light attack they want, and if you wake up super, they can totally block it. So this is not a very good wake up move in a lot of situations. It can be safe mediated by the whole cast, so she has to spend 2 bars to get an invincible move, which is pretty tough, man. It's pretty tough out there. Also, a lot of her good moves are not drive rush cancelable, so like standing medium punch, can't drive rush that. And also like her optimal like spend all the meter to kill them combo is just this. Do you guys know this? This is her optimal. This is her most optimal combo that spends all her meters. So yeah, I don't feel like her combos are that amazing. And yeah, I've been complaining a lot. I think she's got a lot of good stuff, but she has some major flaws that hold her back a little bit compared to someone like Manon. All right, and then finally, time to put my hater glasses on here. I'm putting Zangief in C. I don't know, I just kind of see Zangief as the worst character right now. Like, don't get me wrong, he has robbery factor. He definitely has robbery factor. Have you seen his damage? Have you seen Zangief's damage? He can steal rounds that he does not deserve to win. 100%. Absolutely, he can do that. But I just feel like he's so bad in so many ways. I don't know. Like, his normals are like fine, but they're so slow. I feel like it's really hard for him to play footsies in any like meaningful way. Forward medium kick, great move. Great move. Forward medium kick into SPD. Amazing move, but people are so used to it now. Like, you're putting yourself so at risk, and a lot of other moves people use a lot, like his overhead is so punishable. You get like a full punish counter combo on block, and then this move is like so vulnerable to DI. So yeah, he just seems very risky, very unsafe to me. Oh, running bear grab is really good, actually. This move is like really, really good. EX running bear grab with the 1 hit of armor. This move is really good. But if they just neutral jump it, they get like a huge combo on you. So it's pretty dangerous to use. So yeah, he just feels like super, super high risk, super high reward. Don't get me wrong, if you're a god of the game, like you just kill the opponent in like 2 touches and they just cry. So yeah, if you outplay the opponent, he can win in very spectacular fashion. But to me, I just see him as being a little bit too dangerous to thrive. But that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think. I already can tell I'm gonna get some hate for this video. I just want to make it clear, I do think that everyone in the game is viable for sure. You can get to master rank with any character. Any character can probably top 8 a major or even win a major 100%. They all have drive rush, they all have drive impact, they all have some damaging moves and combos. So yeah, for sure, I think everyone's viable. And I think it'll be pretty fun to return back to this video in a few months and see how things have changed. Maybe we'll all be complaining about Jamie in a few months, and everyone will be like, hey, remember when we thought Dee Jay was good? Now he's like low tier like he was in SF4. I don't know, it could happen. So let me know what you think down in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback. And with that, we're going to end the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.